Hi there, dear guys and girls, and welcome once again to my channel. I'm Petra. I'm a life coach, and I am currently recovering from narcissistic abuse in a friendship. So it's a little bit dark in here. Please excuse that. You're used to me filming in my practice, but we've been clearing up rooms and sorting stuff because we're changing the rooms in the house. So sorry for that. It's a bit of a mess up here as well. But anyway, let's get back. I digress. Last week I made a video, and I had shared with you an assignment from Lisa Nichols on just conditioning yourself to be able to take that first step in setting a boundary. And it was an assignment on what you are proud of, what you are committed to, what you forgive yourself for. So I know it helped me very much in, when I was going through my process. And I hope that it has helped you in the same way. But in that video, I did promise to share some points with you on how to set healthy boundaries when dealing with a toxic person or with a narcissist. So I would like to start this off by saying that originally I am from Zimbabwe, Africa, and I spent a lot of my childhood on a farm. I grew up on a farm, and because we were sort of out in the middle of nowhere, we often had wild animals coming onto our property, and it's actually their property. We just had our house there. But anyway, so we'd have these wild animals coming onto the property, and the ones who had a lot of courage were the snakes. So the snakes would find their way into the kitchen, or we'd find them in the living room, or, we were sort of used to this as kids growing up, but we were aware of the fact that there were wild animals around. So whenever the snake would come in, my father used to have a rifle, a shotgun, and he would, take the snake out. So I'm sorry for all those animal lovers. I'm an animal lover myself, but when there is a threat of danger, you have to protect yourself. You have to take care of yourself. So why I'm sharing that story with you is, when that snake would get ready, the head would sort of, raise up and would get ready to attack you. There is no way we were going to get into a debate with the snake to say, look, I'm a good person. Please don't bite me with your venom. Please, be careful how you treat me. No. I mean, a snake is just following their natural instinct. And their natural instinct, when they perceive danger, is to attack. And, our natural instincts as humans are to keep ourselves safe. So we either, in my case, in my childhood, we would kill the snake, or we would remove ourselves. So if the snake was in the garden, we would remove ourselves from the situation, just back away. And the same thing is when we are going through narcissistic or toxic abuse, is to get to the point where, we just stop defending ourselves, stop trying to justify the actions or, the wrongdoings of the narcissist. It is up to us to back away from the situation. No defending, no explaining yourself, no excusing yourself. Just back away from the whole situation. And you are doing that to protect your peace and to protect your life, to protect your body and your mind. That is what you do when a snake attacks. So I hope that sort of sketches a picture in your mind of how toxic these people can be. And it's not that I want to get into a narc bashing, that's just not in me. But I do want to say, be warned, you cannot change the instinct of something that is wild, of an animal, and really don't try and change your natural instincts. When there is danger, remove yourself from the danger. Don't stay in the danger and think, oh, maybe I can talk the person out of it. Maybe I can do this, maybe do that. No, remove yourself. That is the first part in setting a boundary, is that you have to know when you are being attacked. So just to go through a few pointers with you, the reason why the narc has, sought you out is because you are probably a very good listener. You are kind-hearted, you are soft, you don't want to rock the boat, you are a people pleaser, you have a difficult time saying no. Now, I recognize all of this because this is how I was, and sometimes I can still be that way. But it has become a lot easier for me to start setting those boundaries, because in not setting boundaries, I am not protecting my peace, and I am not respecting and loving on myself. So, it's going to be very difficult at first to set these boundaries, but once you have started the process, because it is a process, you will find that it'll just over time get easier and easier for you. But of course, the most difficult step is starting. So just to give you a few pointers, when you are getting ready to set boundaries, number one, you have to define who you are and what your value system looks like. You have to know what you are about and what you stand for and what you don't stand for. Now, in my case, in dealing with narcissist friendship, my value was transparency. I like transparency in all my friendships and relationships, or one relationship, sorry. So it's transparency, people who take responsibility. That is another value that I was given from the time I was small. Take responsibility for your own actions. So that is what you automatically expect from people that you are dealing with. And a third one for me was no drama. I'm just not into drama. I don't like it. It makes me feel horrible. So these were the things that I used to define myself. These were just a few of my core values. And honesty was another one. And, so you have to know these core values in order to realize what you stand for and what you will not accept from the other party. And just get that very clear in your mind and in your spirit. And point number 2 is to start to sift through and recognize your own feelings. So, how do you feel in interacting with this other person? What kind of emotions are brought about? Is it anger? Is it resentment? Is it anxiousness? Is it nervousness? You have to get clear on that, because then you know that you are definitely dealing with someone who is toxic. So that is also knowing the signs of where your boundaries have already been crossed, because when you are feeling anxious or resentful or nervous, your boundaries have already been crossed. That is a good way to know. So you have to take the steps to either say to this person, look, this is how, when you say this to me or when you do this to me, this is how it makes you feel. This is how it makes me feel. I'm sorry. Probably you will not get a positive response from the toxic person that you are dealing with. They will try and push over those boundaries again. They will try to make you feel small again. They will try everything in their book to get you back in, to break your boundaries. So this is where you have to surround yourself with your support system, whether that is a good friend or a family member or a co-worker. Excuse me. I'll just take a sip, sorry. Whoever your support system is, take these people with you. If you have not told them about the abuse, if they do not know what you're going through, now would be a good time to let them know. Because you need to have these people. You can see them as your wings, your soft place to fall. So that, you can explain to them that you are getting ready to set boundaries with this person. Whether it's going no contact or trying to deal with this person because you have to deal with them. Just let your support system know and let them guide you and hold you and love you through this. Very important thing to do. And, once you start setting these boundaries, you have to be firm, and you have to have the spirit of Superman or Superwoman, because you have to stand firm in your ground. And it is very difficult in the beginning, because you will feel like, coming back on your decision. You will feel like you, once again, need to people please, maybe apologize, or whatever the case may be. I know I went through that. But in doing that, you are just keeping yourself in the circle of abuse. So you need to practice the word no, because no is a complete sentence. You need to practice it and have your team, your backup team, to get you through this. So stick to your boundaries. And I realize that if it is a friend, as in my case, it was a friend, it was a lot easier to say no and shut the door. And I remember that, because you probably will go through a setback. I remember when I first set my boundaries, I sort of started to limit the interaction with her. So I called her less. I texted her less. I didn't meet up with her so often. And, so that was the first time that I was setting my boundaries. And at some point I thought, she's not such a bad person. She does a lot of good. She has good points. And so I went back into this friendship. And within a week, it was back to her old ways, back to the old drama, back to the accusations, the blame game, the guilt tripping, the little digs that you get. So it was just, I restarted the circle again. So the second time that I started setting boundaries, I said no, because I do not like who I become when I'm interacting with you. I do not like that I get so angry when I'm interacting with you. I don't like the degree of drama when I'm interacting with you. So I am going to have to go no contact with you. I told her. I said, I do not want to receive any more emails or phone calls or visits from you. The friendship has ended. And of course, on the inside, I was breaking because it hurt. It's very painful. But you have to maintain this no. And I think it took about 2, maybe 3 months before she really realized, because she tried to get back in after that. But at some point she realized, and you will go through the same thing, where your narcissist or toxic person will realize that they cannot continue their behavior with you, and they will stop. That is with a friendship. But I understand that if you are, romantically involved with a narc, and you have children with this person, it is very difficult to go no contact, because you have to maintain some kind of relationship for parenting your children. So what I would suggest is that you when you meet up with your ex-partner, stick to what needs to be done. So, if it has anything to do with the kids, stick to those subjects. Stick to the maybe the court order, but don't be lured into going on a different route with the narcissist. So if your ex-partner asks you, are you dating again? Are you seeing someone new? Or, if they want to sort of get information about your personal life, don't go there. Do not engage them, because that is their way of pulling you back in. Just stick to the facts. Say, it's my life. We are separated. All we need to talk about right now are the children and nothing else. So really, setting your boundaries is knowing what your values are and practicing no. Practicing closing the door, practicing not answering your phone. And when you feel like you need to phone this person, that you need to get in touch again, call your backup system, call your soft place to fall, and let them lift you and carry you through this. So I hope that has, been of some help to you. It could be that I will make a second part on setting boundaries, but please let me know if there's anything that you would like me to speak on with in regards to setting boundaries. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what your experience was when you set boundaries, or what are the things that you find difficult in setting boundaries. And then I will make another video on whatever questions you may have. So I hope that has helped for now. Have a great evening, and see you all next time. Keep well. Be happy. Bye now.